Hello, Stan Foster, autowindowtinting.com. We're going to do the driver's window on this 2020 Ford pickup. And I'm going to start by cleaning my frames out and just making sure that there's no debris here. This is where we'll wipe the frame of the truck also so we don't pick up any debris. And cleaning is where most failures with window tinters, they don't get it clean, or people doing it themselves. If you buy a pre-cut pattern from us, you will, to do your install yourself, you'll definitely want to make sure that you get your window nice and clean. So I've got the window partially rolled up, and I'm going to go across it with a nice stainless steel razor blade. And this is actually it's a 2020 truck, but this is actually a brand new piece of glass. And so I'm just going to clean it with a good blade just to make sure. And while I'm doing that, we clean the frame, but let's just make sure that there's no glass particles or dirt from when the window was broke out back in there. And then also, let's come across our top. This is a laminated piece of glass for noise reduction. And so there's a lot of dirt up there. And again, talking about contamination, whether you're a window tinter or you're just going to do it yourself, you want to get that dirt off. So let's take, and now that we've scraped the window, we want to get it nice and clean. I'm gonna roll the window up right now and get the bottom. Now, I'm going to apply this, and I'm not, a lot of windows, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll see on door windows, I shrink the film. And on Fords, I don't have to, but I will make sure that the outside's clean, just so I can see what's going on. But we don't have to shrink it. Now, I cleaned the bottom really, really good, and notice I have the plastic up over the customer's door panel just to protect it. And also these Ford trucks, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, these Ford trucks have a tendency for these switches to get wet, and we don't want that. So let's just wipe it off out here, just to make sure, right? And so this window is clean. I'm gonna roll it down to where I can see the top. I'm going to clean that again. You cannot clean too much, okay? So here we go. And speaking of cleaning too much, I'm going to go get the film. I'm going to put it on the board where I can pull that protective liner back. And I'm going to two-stage this window. I'm going to do the top, and then I'm going to roll it up and finish the bottom of the install. And that saves taking all of this door panel apart, right? So let's go get the film and get started. I'll clean it again right before I apply. Okay, so I have got my window clean. I'll clean it again. I've got a 40-inch film in my plotter, and I'm going to select from my program. There's so many different windows on this truck. 2020 Ford Super Crew F-150. And so we have taller patterns and then the shorter. I'm going to use the shorter pattern. The red is drivers, and I'm using that shorter. I tint these a lot, and I know that the shorter works best for me. So highlight, make sure it's where I want it, and then I'm going to hit cut again. And through the magic of technology, now the computer and the plotter are working in unison, and they are going to cut this pattern for us to fit exactly. And again, if you're tinting your windows yourself, or you're in the business and maybe you're just learning, give us a call. We sell these patterns, and Ford trucks, yeah, they're not that hard in comparison to maybe a Dodge. So here we go. I'm going to get this cut, and I'm going to trim just a little bit larger than where the machine cut it, and then we'll get it put up. Okay. Okay, I've got the film, I plotted, we're ready. Okay, so what I did is I laid my film, my pattern from the plotter, I laid it out here on my cut table, and to save some time, I just took my knife and trimmed it to fit. And also, I've mentioned this before, can you get a closer shot here? Here is the actual window, and then there's extra around here where when I get ready to apply, all of that extra will come off. So let's go put it up and get ready. We'll clean the window and put it up. Okay, it's been a minute since I cleaned this window, so I've got the film cut. I like to get everything ready, and you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot clean too much. The window's rolled down slightly, and I am cleaning anything that might have floated in on the window. And we are ready. So now let's come over here. We have the film. The computer cut it. And so I'm taking the extra off. And now I did not have to heat form this window. And that is a good thing. I'm going to turn it around now that I've got that extra off of there. And we're going to pull the liner, just release static electricity, and I'm going to pull the liner halfway because we are going to do what is called a two-step. We're going to apply the top of the window and then the bottom. So nice and wet, both the film and the window. I'm going to be very, very careful here. I keep a couple of long fingernails so that my fingers don't touch the adhesive, so that I've got just a little bit of fingernail on it. And I was looking at the other window, which was already tinted, and there's a very small edge. If there was not a small edge on the other window, I might want to shave the window to where there's not an edge. And it's very slippery, and actually that is what we want for a minute, but then we're getting a hard card here. This is just pushing a little bit more water out than the other squeegee that I was using. And here we go. This is where we want it. Exactly. It's not hanging over the edge, so I know that there's not going to be a problem with the window peeling. I'm going to take, you could use a heat gun. I'm just going to take the torch and I'm going to heat this window up. Along the top, this is a laminated piece of glass, so I don't want to get it too hot, but by the same token, as I finish this window, I don't want it to move. If it moves, we're in trouble if it moves. Okay, so now let's roll the window up, and maybe from this side you can get a little bit better shot if you'll come over here. And I'm gonna roll the window up all the way. Now that that window is rolled up, I'm gonna turn the truck off, maybe, so that, and I might just leave it on. Don't want to run the battery down. I am just rinsing that was rolled down into the frame, and so I rinsed everything off that might have got on it, and a little water, and so now I'm going to start here in the front, and I'm going to get the film down into the frame of the window. And I've got a couple of tools that I really like, this one in particular, just to get it down in there, and boom, now the film, I'm checking to make sure it's all, it's not caught up on my gasket, and we will now squeegee this again. And I'm overlapping strokes, and the squeegee's angled so that when I'm coming down, any water or air will be left on the back section. Same thing here. That way I don't leave a tail or a string of bubbles. Now, just across the bottom here. Now, I'm pressing pretty hard. There we go. So I don't see any water. Looking this window over, it looks really, really good. So I'm gonna take a hard card and a paper towel or a rag, and I'm coming in and I'm getting any water or air that might be along the edges, and right here we go. Now, window is done, man. That did not take long. A little bit of practice if you're doing it yourself and you got it. This is what we call a 2-stage window, and any questions, feel free to call me. Go on the internet or YouTube, B. Stan Foster, Facebook, autowindowtinting.com, and then also the internet, www.autowindowtinting.com. Thank you guys. Get your Ford trucks done. Bye-bye.